All right, today we're doing transition training. The reason we are doing transition training is because we are trying to become accredited by NECBA. And one of the main things that she's been seeing when she goes out to the centers is we are not using transitions. What is that sound? Transitions are something that we have to start using. NECBA will be looking for them. During
Damon,
this video,
I like your
hey guys, somebody
purse.
on Zoom is
I like your purse.
unmuted. Can y'all help me find out who it is? I just scrolled through and didn't see anybody.
It's Tara.
I'm going to try to mute all again. Mute all current and new. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So we're going to try to, if you guys have transitions that work in your classroom, type them into GroupMe, type them into this chat, write them down and share them with me. We need to use each other to try to tackle this. It's not an easy thing to tackle, but even you Zoomers, speak up if you have something as we are going through the day, because that's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to start at arrival and we'll be going all the way to the end of the day and looking at different transitions we can do. So if you have something that works for you, please speak up, share it with everyone in your center. Obviously, infant transitions will be different than pre-K transitions or school age transitions, but you still do it because they're learning language. So when you pick up a 3-month-old baby, you're going to say, next, we're going to change your diaper because that's how we familiarize them with language. And so also, as we come around, we see a really great transition. We're going to be sharing that transition with the rest of Kitty Corner. And hopefully everyone will jump on board and try those. Or if you are having trouble with transitions, all you got to do is reach out to me and we'll get help in there right away. No, I didn't do that thing again. Guys, I've been doing this for a long time and I keep doing that. Okay, today's objectives. You're going to learn the 4 transition tops. You're going to learn how to put those in place. And it starts with empathy. You're going to have empathy. And you're going to learn about these children individually. You're going to design and change to a DAP schedule that includes transitions in the schedule. And you're going to see that. You're going to learn a bunch of individual transitions from, let's see, the University of South Florida. Is that a college? South Florida? Okay. USF. They have an amazing website with so much rich interactions for preschoolers through the day. And the University of South Florida goes out to little daycares in their community and they teach what research they're bringing into the university. Some exciting news. My husband works at UT. I was offered a job at UT, turned it down. I want to stay here. But what they are doing at UT right now is they are hiring currently in a situation where they have gotten a grant. It's a 4-year grant. And they are hiring these developmentally appropriate early childhood teachers, mentors, to go out into our communities' childcare centers. Kitty Corner will be hearing about it. And they are teaching literacy to all of the private daycares around and public, or government like Head Start. But we're going to do what South Florida does. So that's super cool. I told you all those videos come from the University of South Florida. You're also going to see some from class, that stuff I used to do here at Kitty Corner, and High Scope. I always want you guys to know where I get my stuff because that's a huge part. If I was sitting up here just playing videos that I thought were cute. That's not okay. I need to give you guys information that is valid, not information that somebody decided, hey, this is what we should do. And if any of you guys remember, with reading in Tennessee, we have a new literacy act in Tennessee that we are teaching kindergarten through whatever. The state is requiring teachers do the science of reading now. Just to let you know, what we did before the science of reading, it was some guy who, without any research, he just had a lot of power. He said, children should learn reading by memorizing the words and not phonics. And the whole United States ended up doing that system. It's called the 3 cueing system. So that's an example of how harmful, and it was a bad system, and it lowered Tennessee's literacy rate so low. So now we're back on it, and we are doing the science of reading, and we are teaching through phonics. But that is an example of, if I got up here and just shared with you what I thought was right, that's wrong, you know? And we saw a large scale example of how that happens. Okay, a transition is the process or period of changing from one state or condition to another. Basically, it's the seconds and minutes between the lines on your schedule. It's those minutes between every activity or routine that is on your schedule. So basically, the transitions are a first impression to the children of what's coming next. So if you are not doing transitions correctly and you go into this other activity with children running around everywhere and being all crazy and chaotic, that's what they think this next activity is going to be like. It lessens chaos and behavior so much when you can do transitions correctly. This is new information to me. There are 4 types of transitions that the human has to make. Anybody, there's a sign-in sheet somewhere. There we go. One transition, which is a huge one for our little ones, is the emotional psychological transitions. That's from happy to sad, busy to I'm bored. Also in adults, it would be like going into a church that is new and thinks differently than all the rest of the churches, or taking a trip to Africa and you're suddenly in a new culture, and the psychological and emotional changes that brings. Then there's the physical transition, just the movement, going to one thing to another. Intellectual transitions, which we deal with a lot here at Kitty Corner, and this made me reflect a little bit. So children going through intellectual transitions, that's new teachers when they switch from one class to another, or when the lead teacher doesn't come in that day and a floater has to be lead teacher in there. Not only are they dealing with other transitions, they're also dealing with an intellectual transition. So that, there's just so much deep things that we don't think about. Then there's physiological changes, which we experience every now and then when a child comes off of medicine or they're taking medicine and then they miss it a day and then they start it a day. That is another transition. So if you have a child who has behaviors and they're on medication, okay, and the mama doesn't give them to them that day, and their teacher calls in and there's a sub in there. So the whole schedule is different. So they're doing physical changes too. And emotionally, they're a wreck because they want their teacher. Those children are going through 4 transitions all day long. Those are your bad days. That's where big behaviors come in. Okay. So this is what I was talking about on the schedule. So you have predictable transitions and you have unpredictable. Predictable are the, we're going to go from breakfast to circle time, and you tell them at breakfast, hey guys, as you guys are starting to finish up, I'm going to have all of you go to the circle rug. On the circle rug, I have fidgets and Legos and books. You may pick one of those 3 activities and sit on the rug to wait for your friends to finish. That is a predictable transition. And so children typically go through predictable transitions very easily. If you don't tell them and breakfast is over and they're all sitting there and you're like, go the rug, that's when behaviors happen. So then we have unpredictable, the ones that we typically cannot control. Unpredictable transitions are those things that happens that we're not expecting. They happen all through our day, right? It's constant. Weather, it starts to rain and we can't go outside. So that's an unpredictable change. Lunch is late. That's one of the hardest unpredictable transitions that I see when I'm in and out of the classrooms. Markers are dried up. We're fixing to start a project and every marker's dry. It's unpredictable. DCS need to interview a child, things like that. But the most important thing to note there is if you have an unpredictable change, wait, I'm going to say it wrong. Let me go back. If you have an unpredictable change, so added with a new physical transition. So it's raining. Oops, we can't go outside. Instead, we are going to sit at the table and do the art project I want you to do. Those 2 things together equal emotional transitions where behavior begins. So behavior, we're going to start saying, oh, Jennifer, I have an emotional transition in my classroom instead of behavior. Okay. But it makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. I'm going to show you when you have these unexpected changes. Actually, this lady's going to show you what you do when they come up. So, very important to note. Depending on your class's developmental needs, you could, like say Julie and Diane and Janine are my class. I could say if they are all great students and they don't have emotional needs, guys, it's raining, so we're not going to be able to go outside. We're going to have to transition into center time, okay? And that's fine, that works. But if Diane has emotional stuff going on, I would have to go to her individually. Typically, say that she has a really hard time with receptive language, which is taking in what someone's saying and processing it in their brain. So she does not, I might say to her, we can't go outside, but in her brain, all she hears, because of the development of the brain or the lack of development, all she hears is outside, right? So I'm going to go to her with a visual prompt and say, outside, look out the window, it's raining, so we're going to play. And I show her a flip of our centers. That's how you would handle an unexpected one. Okay, watch this, teacher. She has a good group, so she's able to do it as a group.
Have we done meet and greet? Yes. Have we done morning circle? No. We're going to do morning circle, we're going to do centers, and then what's this one? Clean up. And what's this? Rainy. Rainy. We're going to do a rainy fun time activity inside the classroom. And then this is a surprise because it's a rainy day. So we're going to do a surprise.
Simple as that. I really goofed up with my transitions this training. So you have a difficult child. One thing you can do, and guys, I could have used an extra week of prep to make you guys these things. I wanted to make at least 4 first then boards. I wanted to make, I even bought all the stuff to make home to school boards for you guys, and I just ran out of time. So I would love to be able to make that stuff for y'all, but at this point, you're gonna have to make it yourself as of right now. But this is a first then transition board for a child who struggles.
Snack, right? Put snack right here. First, snack. And then look up here. Can you find centers? Circle time. I said the wrong thing. Catalina's got her tongue sticking out. I know I said centers, but we just finished centers. I meant circle time. It was my mistake. I made a mistake. So here, let's trade it out. I'll trade you. So first we do snack, and then we do circle time. Good job. Can you put this one up here, Em? There you go.
She messes
All right,
up
now let's
right
go
here.
wash our hands and get our snack. You wash your hands already? Yes. Good job.
See how calm these guys are? I mean, these videos, to me, it's like I don't have to pay to show everybody that. We are very fortunate to have access to those videos. Okay, guys, this is a schedule that I included transitions onto it. What I did to be safe is Debbie, who is our NECPA lady, sent a schedule to Tara, and it is a schedule that has been approved by NECPA. Basically, a center went through their NECPA observations, and they loved their schedules, so Debbie got a hold of them and shared them. So this is one of those schedules. So I can say we are safe with this schedule. And hey, schedules are a big deal. You mess them up. So, okay, I have these schedules. Let me show you something. I printed this right here out, and they are in the books over there. Every center has a folder and a black binder over there. Let me say Rockwood Infant Toddler Center, whoever takes that, you only have the binder because they're seeing my stomach when I stand up like that, the Zoomers. Because, why, Jennifer, why? Oh, because the folder is preschool stuff. So you don't need that. You can't do center tags, infant toddlers, until they're like 2.5. So you don't get that one. Also, Rockwood Center and Powell. I have already given you two a black transition book, so y'all don't have those books, but everybody else does. Okay, so please remember to grab your little package over there. And Andrea is working on something else that every center gets to take one back. Okay, so this schedule is over there. So you're gonna see like breakfast as they arrive / free play, 6 to 8:30. Now, I cannot, no, I'm not gonna go there yet. Do you see right here at 8:25, it says 8:25 transition. That 8:25 to 8:30 doesn't count as my free play or as my breakfast as right, because that's a transition time. I'm going to do a 5-minute transition to get them into circle time, and then my circle time begins at 8:30, okay? Then I'm going to do a 15-minute circle time, because at 8:45, I'm going to transition them into center time. Now, okay, this is where I want to point it out. Our center time starts at 8:50, okay? It says till 9:55, but it's actually till 9:50, because at 9:50, I'm going to be doing, oh, you have a 5-minute reminder at 9:45. And then, at 9:49, I'm going to say, guys, you have 1 minute until we're going to start cleaning up. So finish your art projects, your block towers, you have 1 more minute. Then at 9:50, I'm putting on my song that lets them know we're transitioning to outdoor play. And we're going to have a 5-minute time from 9:50, 9:55 that we are going to be lining up and walking outside, okay? Outside time starts at 9:55. This is where I need you to pay attention. At 10:55 on the playground, I'm going to say, sorry. At 10:50 on the playground, I'm going to say 5 more minutes to play. And then at 10:54, 1 more minute, and we are going to line up to go inside and start picking up our toys. So look over here all the way to the right. Deborah says NECPA prefers a block schedule to where NECPA can clearly see how much time you're spending outside, how much time you're spending in free play, how much time you're spending in centers. We have to spend an hour outside, more actually. But just as an example, let's pretend like we have to have 1 hour outside. If you start walking your children in during what you have 8:50 to 9:50 for outside time, if you start walking them in at 9:45, you're not getting a full hour. Do you see what I'm saying? Also for center times, you need to make sure you have a certain amount. Don't include your transition in that. Outside time is really the biggest part. Like, you got to have a specific time outside. Okay. So that's what I did throughout this whole schedule. And if you will do this, and you don't have to have this transition thing written there, but it allows you, it holds you accountable that every day at 9:50, I'm going to start lining these kids up to go outside. So I implore you to make your own, or use this as a guide, use it, whatever. Make transitions fit into your schedule. NECPA will love it, and so will state. Okay. Also, on this written one I've done, all of these things are written on it. Small groups include individualized scaffolding groups based on the lesson plan. The reason I don't say small group includes worksheets based on lesson plan, we don't want that on our schedule for NECPA. That word needs to be kept in kitty corner. You can say individualized learning groups, scaffolding groups, whatever you want. See lesson plan. Okay, and then you need to say toileting and diapering occurs every 2 hours. You need to say most children, the reason you say most children are present from 8 to 5, or whenever, 8:30 to 5:30, whatever your center's thing is. The reason you say that is they need to see that while you're offering free play, that most of your children are present. So you can't offer free play from 6 to 8:30 and 5:20 to 6, because then most of your children aren't there and nobody's getting free play. You're just doing group, 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 group. That's what we need to make sure when we look at our schedules. I think most of you guys have already changed that, but when we're looking at our schedules, and you need to write it on there, most children are there from 8 to 5, because that's what the NECPA schedule had on it. So they can see you're offering these things. My daughter is blowing me up, dude. Tell her to go wake up her daddy. She's called 3 times. I've just been ignoring it. Her drives me crazy. The sound's back. All right, before you begin, as soon as you know of a big change, it's picture day. It's parents are going to know about that, but they're going to dig up our playground. We can't go outside. You tell those parents, right? God, I'm hot. We all need to be modeling and scaffolding self-regulation and conflict resolution. What that means is me and Andrea are in a classroom, and Andrea is using this pen, and I say, Andrea, that's my favorite pen. This is when all children are listening. I wish I could have your pen. What I really want to do is just grab it out of your hand, but I'm not going to do that. And then Andrea says back to me, how about we go look for you a pen that's almost like that? And the kids see that, and what do they want to do? They want to do what their favorite teachers do. That's what I mean by that. Have meaningful interactions with each child every day. That's the big deal about small groups, why people are screaming small group, small group, small group. It's because infants and toddlers, these are direct words from NECPA, infants and toddlers, when you lay them down to change their diaper, they are getting individualized time with the teacher. But these preschool and pre-K kids are not. They don't get it. Everything is as a group, as a group. However, those age children still need individualized attention. That's why, they said 1 to 2 children at a time. That is not, I do not think that we can do that. Maybe we can, but I'm saying, 2 or 3 groups based upon the children in your class, the children who might be a little behind, the children that are right on track, the children that are advanced. And that's why they say small groups is so important rather than doing a large grouped learning time where you're all sitting at the table and nobody's getting individualized transition or interactions. Okay. Because children only build relationship through interaction. Knowing each child's interest is so important. Send home a sheet. That way, when a child is in a complete breakdown and they've lost control up here in their little thinking head, you can say something like, did you watch Trolls last night? Because Trolls is their favorite movie. It just helps if you know that stuff about them. Big thing, you need to be changing out materials often. Where I come from, it's every day. You're adding new activities, things. You saw so-and-so blowing into a paper tube. And so you say, ooh, well, I'm going to put out this instrument tomorrow because I got a great story. There's a lady named Betty Campbell that I worked with. She's now in CCR&R. We were co-teachers at Head Start. There was a child who probably plays football right now for Harriman, and he go around beating on everything. He was 2 years old. I mean, just everything, even on people's head. You know what she did? I was still a beginner. She was the seasoned teacher. She set up a mini drum center, and all of that child's problems went away. It wasn't loud drums. It wasn't like real drums. It was just like she made paper circles. He was able to go into a corner in this one person center and just beat away on these paper drums. Never had a problem again. He's fully thriving now. So yeah, just pay attention to what your kids are into. If you don't respect children, they are not going to behave for you. If you talk to them like they're scum of the earth, or just not meaningful, like you're not really a human. Get over there. Sit down. Call. You know better than that. Like, just that kind of stuff. Like, don't do that to these kids. I saw a woman when I was grocery shopping for this training. I saw a woman and a child and a grandmother in Kroger's. I passed them on one aisle. And the mama goes, stop touching everything. This little girl's like 3.5, 4. And, she was like, nothing bad. And the little girl kind of, then I see him again the next time. And the mom is going, hey, Mom, come smell this candle. And the little girl said, I want to smell. And the mom said, you're not getting anything. And the little girl's literally just dropped her whole body and just kind of turned around. And that's what I want you to think about, man. When you say thoughtless things and you're just like, oh my God, you're getting on my nerves. Like, that takes a part of them. And it might come out in a behavior, or it might come out in self-esteem, just lowering their self-esteem, like that little girl who I wanted to take home because I thought about her mom for a day. So just think about it. Okay. Classroom changes to improve transitions, lesson transitions. This schedule has about the least amount of transitions you can get. You don't want to put kids through, where you can say small groups and center play. That's a good thing because you just have a couple transitions going over there. Instead, some people will say 10 minutes of music, 10 minutes of story time, 20 minutes of art, 30 minutes of worksheets. Well, that is change, 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 change. So think about that when you're doing your schedule. You want as least changes as possible.
Something that Deborah had pointed out when we were walking at Kingston and Madisonville, those are the ones I was present for. She went into classrooms where they were offering activities, but on the schedule it had it where it was the center play, but it had a thing at the bottom where activities are offered during center play for those who want to do it. And that was a good way to get around the forced group, is because the children are allowed to center play, but you're also offering activities for them to do as an option too. So doing it that way, offering the activities during that center play, you're not having to follow that rigid, okay, this starts and this ends. You just offer activities during that time while the children are playing.
So if y'all didn't hear that, Kim was just saying, yes, offer activities during center play. That's what Deborah had said to her at a couple of the centers. It doesn't have to be, now it's this time, now it's that time. Start center play, call over your people, depending on their development. And if you have any questions, follow up with us later. Okay. We want to make sure that room's organized. Do special helpers. Picture schedules are a must. The good news is I printed out all these slides and they are over there because it's a lot of stuff. So you're going to be able to go back. Lesson wait times. Don't make others wait till all are finished. We can get around that. You're going to see. Allow self-soothing things like a picture of mama, article of mama's clothing. Let them sit in the corner and hold mama's shirt, or let them wave bye-bye to mama. Just respect them. I mean, it really all comes down to that. If they're struggling in the morning, let them look out the window if you have a window. The number one thing we have to do is we have to empathize. So I'm going to call off a couple of things and just take it with you. When you go to a conference or a meeting or a church service, does the leader go by an agenda? What if I told you right now that we're going to write an essay instead of me doing this? I'm stopping, get out paper and pencil, and start writing an essay on transitions, please. Then you can turn it in to me. And you can't get up, by the way. No getting up. You hear me? When you have a job, do you get a lunch break, a bathroom break? Now, I know there's going to be a lot of jokes in here because y'all call for the bathroom and then you get mad because nobody comes and da-da-da. But I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if somebody says, yes, I'm coming to give you a bathroom break, but nobody ever comes, or, yep, your lunch break is 12 to 12:30 and nobody ever shows up, how do you feel? How would you feel if I told you all, throw away your food and drinks right now, you are not going to drink anything else until you leave here, and everybody stand up and dance? We're dancing. This is dance time right now. Empathy. You're crocheting a new blanket, or Libby's not here, but you're finishing a 1,000-piece puzzle. And right before you finish, I say, put that puzzle back in the box. Put your crochet stuff up, because now it's time to read the book I want you to read. You put that puzzle up. How devastated are you going to be that you have spent all this time on this puzzle and now your teacher is making you just put it up? So let them leave block towers up until the next playtime, if it's a masterpiece. They just deserve the same amount of respect as you. And I was getting a little fired up and said, if you do feel adults get more respect, go read your Bible. Don't pay attention to me. Sometimes my face will get red and I get really passionate about the way people treat kids. And I start throwing in Jesus and the Bible, little guilt tripping. Sorry. So they know better phrase, that just drives me crazy. And maybe sometimes they do, but I need you to remember, children have a lack of regulatory factors in their brain. They have an underdeveloped prefrontal cortex. Look at the prefrontal cortex stuff over here. Self-control. This is what your prefrontal cortex does right now. It allows you to have self-control, emotional regulation, the ability to work towards a goal, cognitive behavior, complex stuff, moral judgment, huge one, planning and analysis. Kids do not have a prefrontal cortex that is developed. Now, by age 5, some of them do show that they're able to handle changes very well. Of course, it's going to be based upon other things you're going to see. But at age 3 and 4, in most cases, they are not capable of regulation or control at all. However, if you have an easy child, temperaments right here, 3 main temperaments: easy, difficult, and slow to warm. If you have an easy child, then they're going to handle it better. Obviously, you have a difficult one, it's going to be rough. Their personalities, if they're extroverted and they can understand things, they're very aware of what's going on. They're conscious. What's that word they say now? Mindful. And do more. Demure. Okay, if they're like that, they're going to do great with that stuff. If they neuroticism, you've heard of, they're neurotic and they're like, oh God, worrying about everything. If you got one of those children, then they're going to have a harder time. And developmental level, of course, kids who have low receptive language going to have a harder time. Some kids' parents helicopter them. Some kids' parents say self-sufficiency. This quote I love and I never can go by, that says, do not do for your child what they can do for themselves. That's my goal. That's who I want to be. I'm not that person, but I want to be that person. You have some parents that do that. So if you got a kid whose parents are like, yes, you can do this, girl, you can crack that egg on your own, that child is going to handle transitions much better. But there's a lot that goes into play there. Follow those schedules every single day. Allow a 5 to 10 minute mess up to happen though. Don't freak out. That, when I say follow that schedule minute by minute, that is what we want you to do. But if a child has a meltdown, we want you to deal with it for 5 or 10 minutes rather than just going on and doing lunchtime. Some children do well with 5-minute warnings. We've already talked about that. Some need 10-minute warning, 5-minute warning, and 1 minute. Use a whistle, use a bell, use a light switch on and off. If I don't have anything and I'm in a classroom and kids are struggling, I flip that light. School age does that great clap. I'm not going to do it because I've heard it so many times. Incorporate some sort of transition song like cleanup or nap time. Pick a song and use it for a month straight. And as soon as they hear that cleanup song coming on, they know what's coming next. So pick out your songs. Let a wiser friend help a struggling child clean up. You're going to have transition cards ready to go and on hand. Andrea's putting them together right now. I just could make one for each center. So you have extra templates in those folders. Please make more. Never force learning time. Why? It gives them a negative idea of learning. Learning should be fun at this age. We leave formal learning up to degreed, typically mastered degreed teachers who have been through training for that. They will force it when they're 5 and 6 years old. Although kindergarten doesn't really do like they used to do. It's a completely different place in kindergarten now than it was when my son Britton was there. I mean, it's completely different. But our job is to never give a child a negative association with learning. If lunch is late every day, every single day you have on your schedule 11:30 lunch. If it's coming at 11:40 every single day, change it to 11:40. And then we're following the schedule. Home to school routines at drop off. This is what? Okay. Signing in, right? They walk in the door, they sign in. Put a home to school board right there at your sign-in place. Put it on the wall or something. This is a big deal. Home to school tells a child, because they are handsy people. They gotta use their hands and they gotta look at it in a fun way for it to get up here to their thinking brain. So mom is responsible, or dad, oh, move your bus from home to school. Remember, honey, there's different rules now. And that's the purpose of it. There are rules at home, there are rules at school. Really important for pre-K children, older preschool classes, super important. Younger, yeah, represents a change in mental status, social cues, routines that are going to happen. Those boards are really, really important. And I promise you, it is scientific. It works. They've proved it. Let each child develop their own routine, wave at the window, draw about their feelings, hold their picture or blanket and cozy. Da da da. And diapering transitions for infants and toddlers. This is absolutely adorable. And I love it so much because a lot of people do not wash children's hands after diapering. I'm just going to say it. There's no reason to not say it. Wash their hands between each child. This is also a great way to remind yourself to wash that child's hands. This paper, this star that she has, you can write on it, I have clean hands. After the diapering changes, she can get her I have clean hands, and you're going to see what she does with it. It's a great visual reminder for you. What? Oh, Jennifer. Sorry. Okay. She got her diaper changed.
Mahelia's turn. Your turn, Mahalia. Come to the bathroom. Come on.
And then that one gets it.
I'm gonna change your diaper, Mahalia. Thank you. Thank you. Good girl. Thank you. Up. Mahalia. Up. Up. All right. Down.
And that's it. Okay. Breakfast and other meal times. You have one teacher and two teacher in your folders. Wait times at tables and rugs gotta go. We are gonna be accredited. So we cannot be average anymore. And wait times equal average. No more wait times. We are changing. If a child washes hands, listen, if they wash their hands with the mom, okay, they do school age. Listen, I have seen thousands of programs, and I've watched those programs from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. when they go down for nap. I have seen hundreds of them do this routine right here. This is primo, guys. Mama brings child in, signs in, home to school, goes to the sink, washes the child's hands for you, mama leaves. Because see, washing hands when you come into the classroom is required. That's what you have to do that. So that takes that away. Mama washes, and I know y'all are gonna have a hard time going through that transition, but guys, I'm telling you, I've seen so many programs who do that, and well-respected, great programs. Wash those hands. That child then leaves mom, gives her a kiss, goes straight to the breakfast table. You don't have to wash hands for greeting and breakfast because mom is taking care of those. If you can't do it, you can't do it, but it's a great, great thing if you can. Okay. Be strategic. Place fast eaters at one table, slow eaters at another table. That is so important. Have a timer with your napkins and extra spoons and all that. You need a timer there because these children They start getting up after what, 10, 15 minutes, right? Or some of y'all are making them sit there for 30 minutes, which is a disaster and causes behaviors. Don't make it hard on yourself. Let that child who finishes the first one get up, go wash their hands if they're not capable or the sink's too high, wipe them with a baby wipe, send them to the rug with 2 or 3 choices. And you're going to do that as each child finishes. Then you have 2 kids left and they want to sit there for 20 more minutes. No, you do a 5-minute timer, 3-minute timer. Guys, when this is dings, we're done. The first 2 times might be hard, but they are going to relate, oop, timer's down, she's taking my food soon, and they're going to start eating it up because they recognize it, and they will. So yeah, don't let those kids sit for hours. And I don't want to go over this whole transition because it takes a long time. So I want you to read all of it, but there is a way for 1 teacher to do it and a way for 2 teachers to do it, and it's in your folder. And this is the routine that I have been living with since I was 26 years old and went into, oh, that's 20 years. My first good early childhood, high quality classroom. This is the routine. 4, mealtime hand washing, okay? Oh, guys. Diapering, toileting, and nap time. 2 teachers. This is in your book too. 1 pats while 1 diapers from cots. This is a challenge for a lot of people. 1 teacher. Make a plan with myself, Kim, or Tara if you have an L-shaped room or you're having supervision issues and you can't seem to change diapers and supervise the rest of the kids. Holler at us. But you could come up with a plan to change half of them before, half of them after. Let us come in there and help you plan this out. Give them 2 to 3 options of playtime. Don't go straight to nap. Clean up meal times, transition them to that rug for their activities, wash all their hands, and say, okay, guys, you can play in cozy or whatever, out on the rug with puzzles, and change diapers doing that, and then do nap. We got to take care of that diaper thing. It's a problem in a lot of classes. I don't know what that says. Playing something. Jeez. Still learning, guys. Sorry. Bathroom wait times. Check this out.
So we're gonna have Ladybug help us do our transition to the bathroom. So you could either fly like a ladybug, because they fly, right? Or you could tuck in like Tucker Turtle, like he tucks his head in. Okay? So you could either tuck like Tucker Turtle, or you could fly like our ladybug. All right, Jack, do you want to fly like our ladybug, or do you want to tuck in like Tucker Turtle? Tucker Turtle, okay. Perfect. All right, Sutton, do you want to fly like our ladybug, or tuck in like Tucker Turtle? Hold on, I have to hear Sutton now. Hold on, Jackson. Fly like a ladybug? Perfect. Thank you, Sutton, for putting your button there. You want to look at, you can look at the Tucker Turtle book while you're waiting to wash your hands. Jack, you can get a book if you want from our yellow bucket. All right.
See, they have books. And they're not books in the book center. They're books in a bucket designed for bathroom time.
You all agree to lane color, so when we're all lined up, we're going to go and check out right here. Okay.
And those books are in a special container because they will get sanitized later. Okay? Circle to center times. This is how that's done. This is also in your book. Explain the last 5 minutes of circle time that you're going to transition to centers. Go over center rules. You have got to go over center rules. If you do not have center rules, I have a great set that I made a long time back, and I'll print them off for you, and you can use them. hand out name tags based on who is being respectful first. And after all are in their centers, you are going to have to monitor for 2 weeks and be like, we're going to do name tags. Y'all might be lost right now, but you're going to be like, oh, Carter, you forgot your name tag. Remember, get your name tag and take it to the center you're going to. Oh, Julie, you forgot to get your name tag. And you're going to have to do that for like 2 weeks and get them used to center tags. And then you can start doing small learning groups. But it's going to take some work. Okay. Here we go.
So I'm going to have Layla go up and get the center tags again. Yeah, you sit down, I'll track the time. This is Layla's job. She's the center tag collector, okay? You don't want your center tag? Well, Layla, can you put it right there? So whenever she wants it, she can grab it? Okay.
Child didn't want to do it. He said, let's sit it right there then. Didn't cause the drama,
You
know.
guys can pick a center.
Watch him. Watch,
You go
guys.
any
Watch.
center you want. You can try a new center too.
See that?
And table toys that's still over there, we moved them to a different spot and they're still over there.
No chaos.
Cooper, say thank you.
No chaos. I swear it can happen, y'all.
So I'm gonna have
Transitioning into center play from meals to center time. Here is instructions. They're in your packet. You must have a system in place first. Without center tags, it's going to be unorganized and chaotic. Okay, I will help you make them. I made one center time packet for someone who promises to use it. These are center tags. I didn't have time to put the Velcro on the back of the little people. So you're going to have to do that, and you're going to have to write the child's name in your packets. There is the whole center time system. This would be for ages 3 and up, who will not go lay this on a shelf and actually try center tags. Come on.
You made me that SLR.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I made Julie some a long time ago.
They work.
And I will help y'all make them. I can totally, I bought a whole package on Teacher Pay Teacher, and I can just send it to you. Transitioning younger children at cleanup time. We are nearing
Okay, boys and girls. 5 more minutes
15
to
minutes.
play. 5 more minutes to play. Play. Carla, mira. 5 more minutes to play. Carla, can you remove number 5? And then now, how many minutes? How many minutes now? 4. No, 4. Very good. That means it's 3 more minutes. Put it right here, right here. Okay, guys, 3 more minutes. Take number 2. 1 more minute. Oh, I hear the beep.
And that is not while they're cleaning. That is before they clean. That is a visual way. I mean, it's great, right? Counting down teaches them time. And when you get to 0 seconds, then they start cleaning. You're just preparing them in a fun way.
And I have one child that will go around and start cleaning up everybody's center.
Do you have one? Is it that dome thing that goes from red, yellow, green? Oh.
It's just a big rock and it casts down and in 1 minute it turns red. And if
Guys.
you're already red, this kid is out cleaning everybody's centers.
Isn't that awesome? And some of them can get mean. They're going to be like, they grab puzzles from people who were putting that last piece in. And it's like, chill.
Okay, boys and girls. 5.
Okay. Cleanup time for pre-K. I love, this is one of my favorite class videos I've ever, I just love this woman. I've watched so many of her videos. She's so calm. You see that light flash?
Thank you, friends. It is time for us to clean up and put everything away so we can go outside. Louise, freeze, please. Make sure everything is put away in the right place, okay? And then you may get your jackets and come on the red line. Okay, Tyza? Clean up, clean.
I swear it can happen. Y'all are thinking there's no way, but I've seen it. I've seen it. And I've seen it here too. This is that thing, Janine. Look at this little thing she has, okay? It's on green now. Transitioning out of small groups. So you're in a small group. All the other kids are playing in centers. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children that you have decided are probably advanced. Once you start listening to what this teacher is doing, this is probably the advanced group. Watch how she sends them out of small group back to the rest of the class. What's going on? Okay.
The 3 and the 2 have the most pictures in it. Porter, which one has the fewest pictures in it? The 1-syllable words. So the 2 and the 3-syllable words we had more of this time. We will have to see if we do it next time which one has more. All right, my friends, thank you. Let's see. If your name has 1 syllable in it, stand up.
Look at him thinking about it.
Knox. Good job. You may get your coat. All right. And take it to your number. You can put it right there. If your name has 2 syllables in it, stand up. Ooh. Porter, Catherine, Asha, Hannah, Isaac. Ooh, you guys are good. Put your chairs in and you may get your cup.
So, you know, that her small group was about syllables. Then she used that as a transition to go on to the next thing that they would be doing, which was center time. The other kids were at center time around it. And that is how you hear us talk about, you know, teaching through games, teaching through play, teaching through small groups. That's the stuff that sticks. Did you see they were like they were all in a cognitive deep learning mode. Centers to circle time, one of my favorite videos I've ever found. I want you to pay attention and tell me something she does that stands out to you, okay? We are wrapping up, guys. It is 11:30, so we're at our 1 hour mark. We don't have very much longer. Please hang in with me because this is the stuff that's really good.
Opossums. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. You are like stealth ninjas. It's like you've all disappeared. They're like statues, aren't they, Robin? You are amazing. You are like a statue frozen. Like that. Possums, in this many minutes, let's see how many fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4 minutes, we are going to use our walking feet and come and sit down on the mat. Thank you, everyone, for using your walking feet and your inside voices. 4 minutes. Everybody walking, walking, walking. Everybody walking to the mat. Oh, look. Walking feet and wash your hands. I like those walking feet. Oh, good walking. Everybody walking, walking, walking. Everybody walking to the mat. Are you going to be the teacher today? Oh, look, I better sit down. Oh, hang on a minute. Come on, my friend. Find a square, find a square, find a square. Cross your legs, put your hands in your lap.
Okay, that very last clip. There's a kid in her seat. What is your reaction when you go to circle and there's a child sitting in your spot? Well, I've seen a lot of you. And it's usually, that's my seat, get out. But did you see what she did? She said, "Are you the teacher today?" And she turned it into something where he didn't lose it, she didn't lose it, and they just continued on. Hey, it is a lot of skill and a lot of hard work. And if you have only been teaching for a year, honest to goodness, guys, I started childcare at age 19. At a little private daycare next to my house. I loved them, but I was a horrible teacher. We'd watch 2.5, 3-hour movies. I had them dancing to Britney Spears. No joke. I was horrible. And it took me about 6-7 years to be high quality. I went to UT. I worked in the UT classrooms. Had to be at Head Start. First day at Head Start, I was like, "You're letting these kids run all over you all." Literally, I was shocked. But I had gotten my degree in psychology. I enrolled in early childhood classes with Head Start, and I worked in the classroom and did my classes. It took a good 2 years of that to make me understand they were not letting the kids run all over them. They were the smart ones. I was the dumb one. I was the one with bad kids in my class, And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Well, I've been there and I've done that. And this is the way to go. Trust me. If not, you're going